hard.
One of these days I'll get a shirt. One of these days.
I'm repping so hard, man. Like, you're not repping hard enough, Snacks. You got the white tee.
Bro, this is the undershirt I wear when I go to work, bro. It's
That's
done.
that. That's that damn franchise boys undershirt right there. That's that baggy one. It's all beat up a little bit. Got that like 05, 06 white tee, man.
Yeah, something like that, bro. It's been rough
Shout
out
out.
here, bro.
What up, PFC Nation? This is Tum here.
This
Who are
is
you?
Snacks, and this is Snacks with Tom.
Hey,
Bringing you a quick episode. Tiki seemed to have forgotten, but I said if there's anything really important going on, we're going to try and get together for an episode. Didn't happen yesterday, but here we are. We're live in the cut.
it was crazy, man. Birthdays yesterday, this weekend. I got a birthday coming up.
Damn, you're old, huh?
You know, I still get ID'd. I still get ID'd, so I'll keep you ambiguous. I'll keep it ambiguous.
Okay.
A PFC 302. Look, yesterday was like a Sunday of finals. Mad finals happening from the Women's World Cup, which is where we'll start, to the Gold Cup, to the Copa America. So we got lots and lots to talk about here. Let's get started, though, with the historic Women's World Cup W. Big victory versus Netherlands. What did you make of the game, Snacks?
It was pretty slow. It was kind of back and forth up until the second half where, obviously the U.S. kind of – I don't know if they took advantage because even after they just still kind of looked vulnerable. But, like, Netherlands were there, man. The Dutch women wanted it, And it was interesting because, something Huss said, a couple of episodes ago now. He said, they're better at the fundamentals. But like when you watch them, there's definitely, and this isn't to knock the women's game.
Oh, that's how you're gonna start. Okay.
There's a couple of moments where it's just like, dude, I felt like the right back for the U.S. I forget her name off the top of my head, was just getting beat way too easily. Like,
was it O'Hara?
I think so. I forget her name off the top of my head because I think the left back's name is Crystal Dunn.
Yeah.
So then yeah, it is O'Hara. Yeah. And she was just she would bomb forward, like give her credit for that. But like on defense, like, bro, if their left winger or if their number 9 got the ball and just touched it a little bit to the side of her, she was beat every time. And then
look, Netherlands number 9 was nice. I forget how to say her name exactly, but she's both footed. She's a tall woman too, man. Like, so she's kind of awkward. She's strong. She can run at and dribble defenders, and there were a couple times when I thought the Dutch threatened, man, especially down the middle. But as far as the U.S. women go, man, this is like an historic achievement. Their 4th World Cup, and
second on the bounce.
Megan Rapinoe bounces back from a hamstring, manages to play basically the whole game. And then who was the other girl who scored? The lefty, the second goal? Lavelle. I mean, she was also dealing with a little bit of beat up. Bro, lefty. And look, the first half, it was cagey, man. It was a final. You could tell, like, the U.S., I thought, were the better team throughout, but the Dutch tactically adjusted to them, man. And the way they set up, it caused this U.S. team a problem. And they were used to scoring within the first 15 minutes of every game. They had basically scored, I think, except for Spain. So the Dutch, actually, the coach set up well tactically. But, man, at the end of the day, it was just too much firepower, man.
Well, let's get to the point of controversy in the game. I think it was around the 54th minute when the penalty happened. Megan Rapinoe slots it home, nice and easy. She ends up winning the Golden Boot because of that PK. The question now is, was it a penalty? Because VAR was at play in this call. And it was Alex Morgan. I think a ball went over the top. The ball was like away from her, and she was running up to it. And I forget the Dutch defender's name off the top of my hand.
It was clumsy.
Yeah, and she just sticks her boot up high, and like I'm gonna use air quotes for those who can't see. Catches Alex Morgan like right around like the side chest area.
Yeah.
And Alex Morgan went down. Was a whistle. She checks the VAR, awards the penalty. I mean, for you, was it a penalty?
Dude, I flip-flopped like crazy on this call. My initial stance was yes, it was PK. I saw it. I was like, that's a PK, easy pen. And then, they show the second and third replay. And I stepped back and I was like, nah, actually, it might be a little bit soft. I don't think it's a PK. But then when they showed that fifth and sixth replay in VAR, it was clear that there was contact that was made. Now, Morgan did sell it. Okay, so let's keep it real. But she didn't even touch the ball. Like if she had gotten the tiniest piece of the ball, it was reckless in the box. If that's not in the box, if that happens on the field, they're gonna call it a foul, right? So you apply the same logic, man, because that's how this game is supposed to be refed unbiasedly. And I thought that it was a tough call for the Dutch to sustain, but it was the right call at the end of the day.
I think just going off of that, yeah, I agree. It was a penalty. At first I saw it. I said, yeah, that's some soft shit right there. Because the thing that sold it is like you were talking about how you see like 4 or 5 replays.
Yeah.
You see Alex Morgan, she anticipates it. She knows it's coming.
Exactly.
Which is the thing that like tells me I'm like, all right, like she sees it coming, like she's not getting the ball, but like there's contact made. Even though it's not like because we've seen people going with high boots, like throwback to the 2010 World Cup when De Jong freaking I forget who it was.
Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso just kicks him in the you know what I mean? It was similar-esque, but yeah, it was a penalty. It was a clear penalty. Again, Rapinoe scores to give the lead.
You trying to squeeze in the Brazilian class, Rapinoe?
Rapinoe. Yeah, I don't know. And then I mean, like, what is it? 10, 15 minutes later, Roosevelt takes it. Deeks one defender out, just puts it on, and
dude, they let her run it. Like she got by that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just like kept dropping off, and she was like, "Oh, word, you're just gonna give me all this space."
Well, that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about like I said, I'm not trying to take credit away, but like it looked so easy at times. I felt like the U.S. could have scored like at least 7 goals that game, and then the Dutch could have scored at least 3 or 4.
Well, look, man, the U.S. did have a chance to go up by 3 and 4 goals.
Carly Lloyd had like 2 chances. She came in like the 85th minute. Like, it's just that like that. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like
Alex Morgan had a chance where she took like too big of a touch.
Yes,
and then went into the keeper as well. So like they had their chances, man. And what I think is, and what I think we sometimes do as just observers, analysts, is sometimes we sleep on greatness. Like sometimes a team is so dominant that we're like, oh, all right, like the quality's trash, it's watered down. It's like, no, all of these women are training their best. We're in 2019 now. Like there's a lot of countries advanced. They have structure for women's soccer. I mean, it's getting better. Maybe it's not where it's definitely not equal to men's in terms of investment and stuff like that. But there's been a long enough period to where you can actually garner legitimate competition. So when you see a U.S. team that's this dominant, like, don't get it twisted, people. This is greatness. And Megan Rapinoe coming through and Alex Morgan and this new batch of women coming through. I mean, shout out to Sam Mewis as well, another East Coast girl, So there was, for me, I was very impressed because it was a dominant World Cup win.
Yeah. It was, and it didn't ever look like, I mean, I think it was the Spain game they won 1-0?
Game, bro. That was a big test.
Yeah, and it's like, you always kind of felt like the U.S. was going to win, but like it wasn't assured. It wasn't like because like these girls went at them, like the French team too. Like they went at them, like they were going for the Dutch team here. Like obviously, like they kind of fell apart towards the second half, but like I said, they could have scored 3 or 4 goals like themselves. Like it wasn't like they were just played off the park. They put their heads down after the penalties. It's like no, it's like they went at them. I swear, man, I'm not even exaggerating. They went down that left-hand side where the right back for the U.S. was, O'Hara. They went at her, bro. They went at, and they were getting clear chances. There was this one, it was like literally the girl took it from like midfield, and she took it up all the way, got to like right around the box area, and then she took too many like of those like inside cuts and those fake cuts.
Yeah.
And she ended up losing the ball, but like she ate alive like that back line and like where the center midfielder would be.
Look, they're beatable. We've seen Marta do it to him in the past.
Yeah, we see that. Yeah,
like there's individual success and then there's team success as well. And for as skillful of a player, I think Marta honestly is the GOAT in terms of just women's soccer. But the team, the players around her, like this is a team game. So like, dude, they lost Rapinoe and then they put on what's the name, Kristen Press.
Yeah, and she balled out. And she balled out
in the game that Rapinoe wasn't able to play. Rapinoe's like one of the most decorated women's soccer players of all time, dude. Like, I mean, if you just want to look at her resume, just men or women, she's got 4 World Cups, bro. So it's like, like it's a big deal, dude. And to lose a player like that and just have one come right back in and then score on top of that, like it shows you the competition, the level of talent. I mean, I say all the time in general, like people in the US are just bigger. So I think in terms of the athletes, I think US women have the best athletes, but they're not just playing like kick and chase football. They're playing the right way.
Yeah,
They're on the ground. They're overlapping. There's movements. Like it's scary to think like these women just inspired a whole new generation of young girls. Like, dude, there are more coming through. Believe me.
Just a special shout out before we move on to Tobin Heath. She had herself a game on that right wing. She causing problems all day.
Oh, you mean Di Maria?
What was that?
Oh, you mean Di Maria? Low Sox team?
Bro. Pass. Yeah. I can't think of a good right winger off the top of my head to compare.
Got a Di Maria type of game, dude. Are you kidding me?
Di Maria's trash, bro. I don't know who you're talking about.
Bro, Di Maria's not trash. He's not who he used to be, but he's not trash.
He's garbage, bro. More she was more like Gareth Bale, bro. When Gareth Bale was in this prime.
What the hell is Gareth Bale right now? This man's playing golf. He's more of a golfer than a footballer right now.
Literally said he'd sit and play golf. But yeah, shout out to her. She was causing problems the whole game. Even like in like the 90th minute, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take the ball, go right, and swerve in." And yeah, it was a good game. It was entertaining for sure. It had its moments, but again, US, congrats to them.
Hey, congrats. This World Cup, man, 146 goals scored in this World Cup.
That's a lot.
2.8 average goals per match. So anticipate about 3 goals per match. Hella entertaining. 4 red cards. Love them Reds. Did
the US concede 1 goal the entire tournament?
Well, here's the thing. They never. Here's where I could see like the criticism. They never, I guess, had to go down a goal and fight back in this tournament. Like I don't doubt that they would have had the heart to come back, but it's easier said than done, right? Being in a scenario like that. So they were never quite put in the most adversity you could find yourself in within a match. But that's also part of their greatness. They never let you put them in that situation, right? Like they scored before you did, or they defended well enough to prevent you from doing that. And sometimes you get lucky in the tournaments. Things go your way. But all in all, man, congratulations. U.S. women, give them a round of applause. Ladies, you are amazing. Thank you for an inspiring generation. And now to move on.
I think they'll come. I think they'll still be strong. 4 years from now, dude, they'll still be good.
They're going to be ridiculous. But where do you think the men are going to lie?
Bro, it's so bad. It's ridiculous. How they made this final is beyond me. Like, no exaggeration. It's beyond
me. Come on. Don't you take it in there?
You know what it is, man? It's like, you look at the competition they had to play. They play, like, what, Trinidad? Who is,
They got revenge on Trinidad, remember? Because Trinidad knocked them out.
But, like, look at these nations compared to the U.S. Like, I'm not trying to, like, again, I'm not trying to slate these nations or whatever.
Bro, you slicing and dicing.
But, like, the U.S., like Al said and Tiki said, like, 2 weeks ago, I remember we were talking about it, or a month ago now, but 2 episodes ago. They were talking about it's like there's 350 million. I understand, and like you brought up a good point. Like soccer's like what, the 5th most popular sport. Pretty sure it's behind baseball, which is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, but bro, like if you look at the population difference, like there's probably like what, how many people living in Trinidad? Maybe 1 million. Maybe, like it's just that like when you look at some of the players they have, like pushing.
Dude, how many people? How many people live in New Zealand? You want to talk to me about New Zealand rugby? Because they fuck everybody up. If an entire nation is behind a sport,
I agree,
and they put everything into it, dude, you can be the best at it. So like, you guys are right in terms of, just sheer volume. Like the U.S. is huge, but you also have to factor in the popularity of the sport. But that's more of like a deeper discussion. Where we're at now, we're talking about the Gold Cup final, ladies and gents. Mexico versus U.S. And the USA, they took an L. Mexico, great victory for them, man. I mean, that's such a dude. This rivalry is intense, dude. This is a racial rivalry. It's a border rivalry. Like it's a political rivalry, dude. Like there must have been some Trump haters out there celebrating. Like I'm telling you, dude, this shit's intense, bro. Like and it all just comes down to football. Like it all sort of centers in, and it's unfortunate, man, because I thought the USA started this game well, dude. First 10 minutes, all over him, man. Pulisic gets in behind, almost scores. I mean, Ochoa does well to save it. So they, Jose Altidore, who to me was the biggest cow. I mean, he had the biggest shocking moment, man. That's the turn. That's the time. That's the time to score. You turn to defend. He takes a beautiful first touch around two defenders, and he slots it wide off his left foot.
Poor. That's the thing that gets me upset is like, it is so annoying, man. Like, I just feel like the United States, like, did Josh Sargent play this game? Did he play this game? Because I don't think he did. And if he didn't, dude, he's been balling the whole tournament. Why? Like, I was reading a tweet earlier, and the guy was just like, Josh Sargent changes this game. And I'm like, pretty much if you put anybody in there, they change this game. But, like, dude, he's been having a good tournament. Like, why take him out now? Unless he's injured, which, fair if he's injured. But I don't think there was anything that came out that he was hurt.
To me, the guy was Zardes. That's the dude who that was the I guess the decision to not include him in the starting lineup. Yeah. Obviously, Jose Altidore is, I mean, he's the most experienced striker. Honestly, he's the best striker, just if you want to look at overall ability. But he's not really trending upwards. He kind of is what he is at this stage in his career. Like, you pretty much know what you're going to get from him. Zardes, and to me, he's a Bergman guy. He's a Bergman guy. Like, I thought he'd start him in this game. He did eventually bring him in, but it was too little too late, man. But if I look at the coach, dude, like, when he first came into the job, I was real concerned for him. I was like, look, I don't know if this is the guy. He doesn't seem all that inspiring. Look, this guy knows his shit. Tactically, he knows his stuff. And the way he set up the US, I thought he set up the US for success, man, like as best as he can with what he has. Like, maybe there's key decisions like including a Sargent in there. But, dude, if you look at how this game was played, like, the US could have won this game. This was a 1-0 game where it was back and forth. Yeah. Mexico historically has dominated possession and
as you say that, I'm looking at the stats: domination in possession, domination in shots on target, more passes, better pass accuracy, less fouls.
To who?
To Mexico. So, like, the USA were just, if you look at the stats, if you had not watched this game and you look at the stats, you would say USA got played off the park, even though it was a 1-0.
I think what that was is most of the game was even, like it was a back and forth. But in the second half, especially like towards the, I guess what we call the fourth quarter or the second half of the second half, around the 70th, right up in there, that's where, I mean, Mexico really
turned it on
into the game.
But they have game changers. They have like Raul Jimenez at the top. He plays for Wolves, and like we cover the Premier League every week. We see how influential he could be, even if he's not scoring. Guardado, the guy's like almost 40 years old, still in there, still doing it.
So that dude had scored in every Gold Cup final he had played in. This was the first one he had not scored in, dude.
He had a sitter that he skied over. He sent it to the backyard of my house, bro. The ball's still there. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean,
bro,
going back to what you said, I mean, I don't know where this puts the U.S. I mean, we were talking about it, like, if they don't win the Gold Cup, what happens? Like, it's like some will say you're rebuilding, some will say like you should be there, especially in the Gold Cup. But like, I mean, if you're playing like, had it been anybody but Mexico, I would definitely be more like the USA is this, they're that, they're awful, da da da. But Mexico's a quality team. Like, we've seen what they can do in World Cups, we've seen what they can do, Gold Cups. They just won the title, so I mean, it could have been a lot worse. And I want to like reassure people who are fans of the U.S. men's national team, like young players like Pulisic, you got Timothy Weah coming out, Josh Sargent. Tim Ream in the back.
Yeah, he was holding down the left back spot. But again, that was like to me that was a weird my boy Tim Ream. That was a weird sub, man. I guess he took Tim Ream out. Forgot exactly who he put on, but he subbed on another left back, and to me that either signifies like a lack of quality or because he didn't really change the shape. Now, if you sub on a play, you take the left back out, you go to like maybe a back three or something like that. I could see it. They sort of they pushed him up higher, but I guess they kept that like back four. So I don't know, that to me was a little bit of an odd one. But other than that, I mean, I thought Greg Berhalter, the coach of the U.S. team, he did all right, man. He set him up to succeed. I mean, there's two cowish moments. And then for the Mexican goal, dude, like that was a well-worked goal, bro. I mean, Jamal Lee. It's not like they didn't give that necessarily to Mexico. You know, they kind of had to build up, and it was like an incredible little back heel. Was it Jimenez? Was that?
Yeah, I think.
Jimenez. I mean, this dude's so smooth, man, and he's got that little Luis Suarez wristband shit going, dude. He's gonna be a problem, man.
Next, bro. He's next.
Jonathan Dos Santos just roofed it, man, with the left foot, bar down. Keeper stood no chance.
I don't know if he's still in the MLS, but Jonathan Dos Santos, MLS player, he's playing on the Galaxy from the last that I saw of him. So I mean, like, credit to the MLS for producing.
Jonathan or Gio, or was it or both of them?
Because Gio was, but I thought Gio got released. I don't think he has a team right now. So I know Jonathan was. What was that?
It's all very Googleable.
Yeah.
Googleable.
Yeah, but Jonathan Dos Santos scoring the goal. U.S. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on the U.S. team going forward? I mean, that's probably the big thing, you know, for
Daniel Lovitz was the left back sub, by the way.
Oh, no, that's fine. So I mean, yeah, just going forward for the U.S., like, what does this mean? Like, are you as deflated as say Al or?
No, man, I was the one who like
keeping the peace.
People's expectations are bugging. People's expectations of the U.S. men's team are bugging. Like, they're one of the teams who actually like didn't have a head start. They started. Everyone got like a 4-5 second head start in a 100-meter race, and then you expected them to catch up, and it's like no chance, man. Like, it's gonna be difficult. What I see though is a new crop of talented youngsters coming up. I think the expectation is only to make the World Cup, I think, because of the resources, not necessarily because of all of the quality. Once the quality catches up to the resources, the U.S. are going to be a problem. Until then, it's sort of a cat and mouse sort of game for them to catch up. But I see it happening. Christian Pulisic, man, there was a moment in the game where he dribbled by like 3 dudes, and then he had 5 guys in. He showed his immaturity a little bit where he should have played in. You should have played in one of the guys, but I think he's gonna do well at Chelsea too, man. I think Christian will keep growing at Chelsea. And
hey, there he is.
Hey.
Nah, better late than never. I guess we're just about to finish up with the Gold Cup. Any thoughts on the Gold Cup? Because you're pretty adamant about a month ago, on 2 weeks ago, or 2 episodes ago.
First, people gotta work snacks. All right, so get off my ass. All right. Second of all, I'm not wearing pants. Third of all, I can't get the right.
You gotta stop wilding out. Find a seat.
But Gold Cup, man. What is there to say? USA sucks.
There it is. I told you.
PFC
Nation, I told you one was coming.
We're just about to close the door. Al came in with a hot take and kicked that shit open.
Dude, Josie Altidore. I mean, this just proves, man. I mean, Clint Dempsey is obviously, we're missing him. Like, he was the deuce. Don't tread on me. Probably our best export since, Christian Pulisic is going to overtake him, I'm sure. He's more talented, I think. But in those clinical moments, Clint Dempsey was always there, always getting shots. I mean, we go back to Algeria, 2014, 2010?
2010.
Was it 2010, Algeria, 90th minute? I mean, Clint Dempsey got there first, got the shot. Lando got the rebound. But, Josie Altidore, man. Like, this guy's never had one good day. Granted, we did win the Gold Cup in 2017. We've won it a few times. Mexico's won it like 11 times. They have the record. It's ridiculous.
They're the best team. Bro, look at, like...
But, dude, look at the first half. Look at the first 10 minutes. Look at the first half. Look at most of the game. We dominated, against...
Until Mexico turned it up. Look, I agree. The first 10 minutes, what it was is they weren't clinical. They were cowish moments. Christian Pulisic, he should have scored. He was in the 3rd or 4th minute.
Should have passed.
Makes a save. Josie had the most blatantly cowish
one-on-one.
Yeah, but, dude, this was I agreed. The U.S. played a hard-fought game. That's why I don't think they suck, because Mexico is a quality team and they only lost by 1 goal, dude, in a game where they definitely feel, or should feel, like they could have won that game. That's why I think it will hurt the most.
And I love Mexico. I think they're a good team. It's not like I don't rate them, but they were nobody found in that first 20 minutes. I mean, for there were large stretches of the game until the second half wore on. Then they really took control. But up until Josie Altidore went off the field, I mean, granted, he's a big physical presence, so that helped. But until he went off the field, man, like we were controlling, we were comfortable. And then you start to realize that we don't know what to do when we have the ball. We don't know how to work the ball around. You know, it was it's too bad, man. I mean, this is Verlander's first tournament with the team, young squad. We win this cup, awesome. It's looking good for the next tournament. You know, looking good going towards World Cup that we can qualify for. But
that would have been full gold, though. That's my thing, and that would have heaped expectations. Like, I guess, like it's good to win. It's great to win a cup. You always rather win than lose, like unless you're a loser. But at the same time, this lets them know we got work to do, guys. Like, we still got work to do. But we're close. We're getting closer, but we got work to do. Like, I think it's the loss. They'll learn a lot more from losing than they would have from winning.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No doubt, man. I mean, there's still a big learning curve, but you see the gaps in the squad. You know, like, I mean, the lack of striking options that we have. And I don't know, Michael Bradley looks slow. He did all right, though. I'm usually hard on Michael Bradley.
He's old, man. The guy's old.
What did you think? Weston McKennie got the badge, dude. It was his first finals in the U.S. shirt, and he gave him the skipper. What did you think of that?
I think he fell on his face, to be honest. He didn't really have a good game himself.
Nah, he didn't, eh? Wasn't one of his best.
Man. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's a Gold Cup. It's a garbage competition anyway. Like, but this is something we should be winning every year to boost the confidence. We won it in 2017, which was nice. We always lose to Mexico in the final. I think every final that we've lost has been to Mexico. I mean, Mexico, for what it's worth, they don't go past the round of 16 in the World Cup. Silverware, you know.
Your mic just went in and out.
I said at least. I mean, they don't go far in the World Cup. They usually get knocked out round of 16 historically, but I mean, at least they get silverware when it's up for grabs. You know, this should be our layup cup.
I'll just say this: in terms of the U.S. progressing going forward, we see a lot of nations, a lot of their talent. Top three would probably be the Spanish league, Spain national team, the English national team, and you could say the Italian national team. But
in terms of what?
In terms of Germany and their national team, their players are all homegrown. They play in clubs within Germany. You know what I mean? But with the U.S., the MLS just is not up to par, not up to standard with, you know, other leagues in the world. And we're seeing more and more of these U.S. kids like Timothy Weah, like Weston McKennie, like Josh Sargent. They're going abroad to get time. Playing in Germany is the main example. That is how you're going to progress. You need to play with more quality. And you need to, like you said, Tom, a couple of weeks ago, you need to absorb that knowledge so that, like, even if you're not playing that style of football, you still have, like, the basics, the basic fundamentals of how to play in said league. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just because the MLS, you watch an MLS game and, like, I am shitting on the MLS.
No, everything
is bad. It's bad, man. It's bad.
It's gotten way better, but just like the speed of play is slower, the technique, first touches are more errand. But I mean, it's gotten better, man. Like, you have guys like an Almiron, who all of a sudden he was playing Atlanta United. Now he's on Newcastle,
balling,
doing work for his country. So, like, there's definitely talent in MLS. But what I want to say is people must be going nuts about us mentioning Josh Sargent, because he wasn't even in the squad, mate. Better check your sources, Snacks. You getting fed some wrong shit, dude. He wasn't even listed as one of the subs, dude. So I look at him. I think Tyler Boyd was a guy. What the hell happened to Tyler Boyd? This dude was on fire, man. Maybe he got hurt.
Maybe Tyler Boyd was the guy I was thinking of. That's my fault. Yeah, maybe Tyler Boyd was the guy I was thinking of.
But yeah, Tyler Boyd, I thought, and Gideon's artist got brought in. But yeah, let's not drag this one out too much, man.
Yeah, speaking of which, just one closing comment. I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but Raul Jimenez, beautiful assist, man. Little back.
I keep still, Al. Your mic's like freaking out.
How's that?
Stop moving, bro. Damn.
Yeah.
Not moving either, man.
This is I wish people could see he's just going back and forth in his chair. I
Well,
still
dude,
see
when you got a chair that rocks, it's tough to not rock with it. But I'm just talking about the Jimenez assist on Mexico's goal in the guest class. Yeah, no Chicha, he was out, but yet Raul Jimenez, who's a better striker in my opinion, more complete. I love seeing that guy do well.
Oh, the microphone. Wow. Technical difficulties, dude. I came in and Take it out.
There we go.
All right. Oh my God.
Apologies, Nation. We'll move on to the final of the finals. I think it was the best game overall. Brazil versus Peru.
It's fixed. It's a match-fixing scandal, I tell you. All the refs want him to win.
You are disgusting, bro, for saying that. For insinuating that's true.
Dude, Messi needs a VIP seat to the player haters ball, dog. He's officially a player hater, man, and one of the greatest. Got to give him some credit for that, dude. Brazil 3, Peru 1. Yeah, man. Yo, Snacks, I agree with you, man. This was the best final out of them all. It had everything you wanted. You know, up and down, had goals, moments of controversy. Like, what did you make of it?
Bro, Gabby Jesus is next. He is next. He's coming for Aguero at City. He's coming for him. He got the hat trick. He got the assist. He got the goal, and then he got the red card. This guy is next, man.
And then he had the Kleenex to dry his eyes after.
Yeah, it's all right. They still won, and he still made an impact, bro.
Hey, bitch.
To give Peru
he cried right into that trophy cup, bro. He cried right. He
give Peru a chance.
Right into the
trophy. He on purpose got a red card to give Peru a chance because he's like, you know what? Goal and an assist. I think I've done enough today. Let me make it.
Peru didn't need a leg up in this game, man. I think some people are upset that Argentina was the semifinal. They wanted it to be the final. But the way Peru got to this cup final, man, like they dousted Chile in the semifinal. They get to the final, and they were not afraid of Brazil for a second, man. They pressed. They took their chances. They sat deep, and then they countered. Dude, they played beautiful football, and they bossed the midfield at moments in times. You know, like it was beautiful to watch. This Peru team's on the come up, and credit to Guerrero, the much maligned striker, always in the headlines for the wrong reasons. But dude, the guy's got swagger, man.
Love this dude, man. He's a leader, dude, and he's a baller too.
Dude, he plays like Cantona up top. Not to draw similarities, but dude, he's a big dude, wants the ball, wants the pressure. He's the go-to guy, and the huge penalty to tie it up 1-1 right before halftime. Without that goal in the 45th plus 1. Dude, 1-1 halftime, man. This is a serious game, but that Brazil gets that second goal through Gabby Jesus. Well worked.
Let's talk about it. Let's slow down a little bit. Talk about it. So obviously the first goal, Gabby Jesus, little dribble and doused. Splits 2, crosses it for a simple back post finish from to Everton. But the second goal is the one I want to talk about. Peru's goal, and here's a controversy I alluded to a little bit earlier. A ball goes in. Was it a cross? I believe a cross goes in, and the ball slides in between Thiago Silva's legs.
Yeah,
and hits his hand. Now, he's using his hand to plant and land. Do you think this was a legitimate handball?
Handball all day.
Snacks, what's your verdict?
What's the question, Tom? What are you trying to say? It's not a handball? Go ahead, Snacks. What do you think?
Just to combat you, I'm going to say it's not a handball.
Oh, you bitch.
Hey, thank you.
No, I mean, listen, if he's going down, I mean, like, is it unnatural to go down planting your hand on the ground? A lot of people seem to do it when they fall. So, I mean, like, in that respect, I don't think it's a penalty. But, like, at the same time, like, maybe he could have used his other hand to go down. Like,
no. If you look at the replay, this is a little cut in right here. Okay, because I've defended before. And I don't think it was a penalty kick, dude. And the reason why is because his hand was in a natural position. He goes to slide with his right foot. That's his leading foot. His left hand is trailing. Everyone knows in soccer, it's opposite. If you kick with your left foot, your right hand is going up, right? So that hand is used as a rudder, ladies and gentlemen. You know a boat, how you direct, how you steer a boat. You use that to plant and land for safety. So look, I'm glad Peru got the PK. It would have been harsh because the ref initially awarded penalty kick straight away and then went to review it through VAR. So had he taken it away, I would have felt bad for Peru, and I really did want it to be an entertaining game, which it ended up being. But if I had been in that position, I wouldn't have called it a handball just because.
Because you're afraid.
Put yourself in a similar situation of a cross. If you're playing fullback and a cross comes in and it's a cutback, I slide with my left leg to block it, but my right hand is behind me. It's on the ground, but it's behind me and it's trailing, and that prevents the ball from coming in. Do you also think that's a penalty kick?
Absolutely, it's a handball.
Because I don't. Is that not a natural position?
You're putting your hand in the field of play away from your body on the ground, nonetheless.
Have you ever slid before?
And it's stopping the ball from its projection.
But is it a natural defensive position is the question.
On the ground, stay on your feet. Unless you're me, then you go side tackle all day, man. I don't care.
Stay on your feet?
Dude,
critical, dude.
Dude, you slide on the ground, you put your arms out there. It's the same thing if someone crosses the ball and you put your arm in the air, or you put your foot up to stop the ball, and your arm goes with it for balance, and the ball hits your hand. It's the same thing if you're on the ground.
But it's not, though, because that's not a natural position. If you're standing on your feet, it's not natural to have your arms out wide. But if you're sliding on the ground, in order to literally steer and control yourself on the ground, you can control the angle at which you slide simply by shifting your arm, bro. Like, this.
I think natural position for handball only accounts when you're on your 2 feet. I think as soon as you go to the ground and you stop the ball with your hand, that's a handball.
Anything goes.
What's your natural position for a hand when you're on the ground? In your lap? You know what I mean?
No, like when you're sliding, your hand's trailing behind you normally. Like when it's up in the air, that's one thing when you're sliding. But and we see that sometimes where players will put their hand up while they're sliding. But while they're people don't just go in unless you're Marcus Rojo with 2 feet, freaking. Like
a torpedo, dude. No one slides like that.
Man, you need something to slow down, because arguably, depending on the pitch, you could go for a long time and do more damage if you're not slowing yourself down with that hand.
And PFC Nation, understand that this is a nuance, and this is what people debate in these FIFA rooms. There people have opinions like Al. It's respectable. Where if you go on the ground and it hits your hand, dude, it's on you. You shouldn't have went to ground. But then there are people like me and Snacks who are dude, no. As defenders, we know it's a natural position when you're sliding, trying to prevent to set at least one hand down on the ground. And it's usually the opposite hand in which your lead foot you're sliding with. So, look, I'm not mad that it got given at the end of the day. I see why. But I still don't think it was a handball, man. Just for, you got to keep the same energy. You got to be consistent with this shit, dude. It was a natural defensive position, I thought.
And I mean,
I define natural defending position, man. I
just did. I wish I could show you, but dude, if you've slid before,
dude, I know what you're saying, man. But you're leaving your arm extended from your body
because it's natural to do that. It's if you're sliding, you control your lead foot by sticking your arm out. You have to. If you've played in rain before, dude, you can literally
I know
slide in a straight line and then curve if you want.
I know the rudder theory. Okay, I understand the rudder theory. Okay, it's just it's fantasy. It doesn't exist. It's all make believe, man. Your arms out there exposed away from your body. It's a handball.
So when you slide tackle, both of your arms are by your side.
No.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
But dude, if the ball hits my hand, it's a handball. I went to ground. Once you go to ground, it's your fault, dude. It doesn't.
I don't like that. I don't like that, man. Once again, making defending harder than it already is. People trying to. This is my little conspiracy theory. Trying to just get more goals. Trying to sell the tickets. We want the tickets. We want more goals. Go on.
Hey, it worked in this sense, man, because it was a big goal. I mean, like I said, if Gav doesn't get that second goal right before halftime, we're looking at a crazy second half. It still was a crazy second half.
Dude, I love how Brazil showed heart, though. They just bounced back right away. They just scored that goal right before halftime. And that, to me, was the key, man, because you give Peru a chance to get to halftime with it being tied. Chances are Brazil probably still would have went on to win, but you never know, man. They could have came out of that half, Peru, completely different. I felt that goal right before half sort of deflated them.
Oh, it's a killer, man. It's a killer blow. It's a punch right to the nuts.
Right to the nuts. Keeping it PG-13 for y'all. Gabby Jesus, let's talk about him for a second. I know we started talking about him. He just solidified himself as the Brazil #1 going into, the next couple of years. I mean,
#1 what, Snacks?
#1 striker. The #1. It's been.
But here's my thing, Snacks. He didn't start at striker for pretty much all of the tournament. He started at right wing. and Firmino started as striker.
At the same time, I look at it. Sorry, I was coughing, so I wanted to mute my mic.
Oh, I thought you just got shut down right there.
No, man, I don't know, man. I just think I understand because, like, he plays year round at the number 9 for Man City. And I understand, like, he'll drop deep sometimes, but, like, he put in the goals. He was the focal point. You could argue it was Everton as well. Everton won the Golden Boot. You could argue it was Dani Alves who won the best player of the tournament. But for me, Gabby Jesus was always the guy, like, making an impact. Like, when you saw, look at the Argentina game he scored in, scores in the final, early on in the tournament is just creative. And when guys like Coutinho, who were falling off, he was garbage in this game, by the way. Like, Gabby Jesus was the guy to step up. You know what I mean? So I think going forward, I understand you could say, oh, Firmino and Gabby Jesus could play together because Gabby – I think I'm not going to say you're wasting him because he proved this tournament he's not a waste at the right wing. But I just think he gives you that extra when he's in the middle. Now, if Brazil don't have a right mid to compensate for Firmino being gone and Gabby Jesus moving into the middle, you don't what's the saying? I don't know what the saying is off the top of my head, but you don't buck the trend. You just go with the flow. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just
the apple cart.
Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it.
Look, dude, I disagree with you just because, like, look, one, Gabby Jesus shocked me. I didn't think he could play right wing this efficiently. Like, I thought, yeah, I had seen him play left wing, and he was all right there. But, dude, in terms of a right winger, okay, let's keep it, I guess, in perspective. In terms of the competition he was playing. But this guy was shitting, man, on the right wing, cutting in, beating people down the line, lots of trickery. And I think that this Brazilian coach has a serious dilemma on his hands. Like, it's beautiful that they won and all that. Like, Brazil, the Samba boys are back. I love Brazil, man. Like, one of the teams that inspired me to play soccer growing up. But you got to think, they did this without Neymar. Neymar's out injured.
Over. Retire.
Doing that now, he's got a selection dilemma. This is similar to what he went through in the World Cup. Do I leave Firmino out or Gabby Jesus out? Because I want to play with some natural wingers, either Everton. Neymar's going to go in at that left wing spot. So he had been playing Everton, Firmino, and Gabby Jesus. So one of those 3 have to leave. And Gabby Jesus has excelled at right wing now all of a sudden. Firmino does the dirty work, drops in play makes. Like, he had a goal and an assist and stuff like that in this game or in the tournament. So Everton, he's been the guy on fire. He won the Golden Boot, like you said. So knowing Neymar, major ego, he's clearly the best technical.
We'll talk about his ego when we get to the Nuggets.
What is this coach gonna do? Because the way they're played,
he's
man,
gotta either bite the bullet and just go with what works. But, like,
Everton's probably got to be relegated to the bench, dude. But
that's probably what's going to happen. And I don't know if that helps them or hurts them. But at the same time, we saw Everton playing left wing?
Yeah.
We know if he's effective on the right wing. Like, I understand you want natural wingers, but, like, we've seen players who are wingers go from left to right, and it, like, doesn't exactly work out for them. I mean, they can make it work, but, like,
it's different. It's just it's completely different. It depends.
It's a completely different game because if you're an inside forward like Everton is, who's cutting in a lot, who's taking up positions around the inside of the box near the penalty spot. Look at where his goal was. Yeah, like, look at where his goal was. Like, it was just like it was right on line with the penalty spot when Gabby Jesus crossed it to him. Like, he's more of an inside forward. When you put him on the right, he's more.
I think he's gonna look. I think someone's gonna pick him up. I have a feeling someone's gonna pick him up. I'm not sure who. Probably United's thirsty ass.
You say that because he came out and said, "I think I would be good at Man United." Therefore, I think he wants to go to Man United. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, dude. I know you want him. Come on, deep down inside, I know you're like, hey, Everton. You'd be nice at United.
I mean, he won the Golden Boot in the Copa, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you,
dude. But I do want to talk about Gabby Jesus though, real quick, and then maybe we can wrap on him. But like, he needs to play, right? Like, you see what this guy possesses. He's starting for the Brazilian national team. To me, okay, Dani Alves was the player of the tournament, but if you look at the stats, Gabby Jesus had 2 goals, 2 assists. No other player had that this tournament. Coutinho, I think, was close with 2 goals and 1 assist. But his final pass was missing in this finals. But Gabi Jesus, he needs to play now. So what happens at Man City? He's not going to get on over Aguero, Raheem Sterling,
Mahrez,
now all of
Sané,
a sudden, overtaking Leroy Sané, but you still got mans like that just waiting. Like, he needs to play now. He's ready to play now. Do you guys have you kind of swung over?
You put him at the number 9, bro. He's coming for Aguero. He's coming for him.
Shouldn't be coming to the bench anymore, man. Like, he needs to fucking just play day in, day out to have that year. Because one more year of just being delayed, or maybe 2 more years of being delayed to Aguero, like, you think it will work out?
Man, I see what you're saying, man. I've been the Gabi Jesus hater for a long time. Mostly because when he came onto the scene, people were comparing him to Marcus Rashford, saying he was better than Rashford. I still don't believe it. I don't care. I'm going to let my bias die with me. But, dude, I mean, it's all going to come down to Aguero now because Gabi Jesus he's put his foot in the door. And he's creeping in. And he's like, yo, you need me, boss? If Aguero steps up, I mean, you can't not say Aguero.
Exactly.
It's Sergio Aguero. You know what I mean? And then at that point, Gabi Jesus has to make a decision. I mean, he's been there for 2.5 seasons now. He's won the Premier League twice. He's gonna have to make at some point. He's gonna have to make a decision on his future. But then the problem comes is like, where does he go? The only team I could have seen him working out at, would have been Real Madrid, just because Benzema's getting older. But they just signed Luka Jovic. So if Barca don't end up signing Griezmann this summer, and Gabi Jesus is in and out of the team like he's been the past 2.5 years, then I could see him going to Barcelona, being that heir apparent to Suarez.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get that much time at Barca, man. And you know that Barca thing is different.
If you don't buy into the system, you don't play.
Because there's still the Griezmann saga happening and all that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, well, what do you think? Do you think he should go, or do you think he should stay? I think it's just situational. I think if he.
It's a tough call, dude. It's a difficult call because right now, like you're saying, I'm looking at where would he fit, and where would he play day in, day out. I'm looking in league Chelsea. They need a striker, like an all-out striker, but transfer ban, so that's out. Spurs don't need a striker. Arsenal don't need a striker. Man United need a striker. But do they really? Because like they're investing in Rashford and Martial, so I guess technically they don't need. You're more in need of a center back. So he'd have to drop down to an Everton level, maybe.
No way, man.
So EPL doesn't work.
Go to Italy.
Liga might work, but again, now he's not at PSG, right? Because Mbappe's the man there. He's gonna go to Lyon or Nice.
They're all dropping down. He's in a very unique situation. Maybe Juventus when Ronaldo and / Mandzukic retire, but like
he's just sitting right behind Ronaldo. So Atletico Madrid, but they just bought João Felix. They've gotten rid of Griezmann. Who's the main replacement there? I say Atletico Madrid and Valencia are probably the only 2 teams, and I think
you're doing Gabi Jesus. You're not doing him justice, man. This guy's better than a Valencia level. I understand he needs time, but he can start for a lot of. You know what?
Start and like lock it down because like he has the talent again to start for like a City, but he's not because Aguero's there. So
I got you. Ready for this? Tell me when you're ready.
Inter Milan.
Nah, not Inter Milan. What the hell is wrong with you, bro? No,
what, bro.
What? Bayern Munich. Lewandowski's getting old. Bayern Munich. Dude. Lewandowski, and they buy Brazilians. They've had Brazilians in their team before. He'd fit right in.
Would he?
Imagine a front three.
Fluent German, he'd fit right in, huh?
A front three. Well, I mean, I don't know. He'd have to adjust to the lifestyles up, but a front three of Coman on the left, Gnabry on the right, and then Jesus, bro, pace.
Dude, Bayern's too vicious. Bayern is Man City level. You know what I mean? Like they're not. If he's not getting in at Man City over a striker like Aguero, what makes you think he's getting in over Lewandowski? Like he's still gonna have to sit that year. This year is what I'm talking about. Lewandowski's still the fucking man. So he'd still have to sit.
We're talking hypothetical. He's not leaving this summer. They just gave him the number 9 jersey.
I'm saying he should leave this summer and get more playing time and be like a guarantee.
But like, what does that say about Gabi Jesus going down to a lower team just so he can get playing time when like he's getting a good amount of time now? It's not like he's never playing. He's still getting like 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 games a season. He was their.
Which one is this next?
I think it was around 30 or 40. I'm gonna say 35.
Are you sure about that?
I got you.
Are you sure about that? Because appearances are different than game time. So playing 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then playing like how many starts? You know what I mean? I know Aguero had a period where he got injured, and he's probably going to continue having periods like that because he's aging. I understand where you and my brother stand in this. Like he needs just bide his time because Man City, I think, is actually the perfect fit for him. So if he can bide his time and find a way to be patient, sure, but at some point it's a slippery slope where you become stagnant and you miss that window, I think, to really explode and gain that match time experience that you need. But he's a young guy, man. He's a young guy, so we'll see if it works out for him.
He's only 22. He had, in the last 2 years, total appearances for City, he had 46 all comps last year, 42 before that. Obviously not all stars because you got Aguero ahead of him, but he started all the cup games. He started plenty of Prem games when Aguero wasn't there. When Aguero's not fit, he's in. Lewandowski's only 30, so he's still got at least 1-2 years left at Bayern before he even gets sold, unless they want to sell him hot. So I don't think he's going to go there. I mean, Barcelona's full, PSG's full, Juve's full. I mean, like I said, I think he just sticks where he is. He's doing fine. He's not getting the reps yet, but he will.
Look, as long he's starting for his national team too. So I mean, what are you gonna say? You know, it's not like his role at Man City is stopping or preventing him from starting for his national team. So
Fred?
Yeah, no, fucking Fred.
Jose destroyed my international career. Fuck off, Fred.
Wait, he said that?
No. Yeah, well, he said that going to United, not getting played, blaming the managers that he had less playing time, so he was overlooked by the Brazilian national team.
Yep.
But it comes down to you, man. Man with the sticks as always.
No. Fuck Fred. He didn't even show the season on time, bro. This guy's getting married to the same woman for the second time. Are you kidding me? They didn't get divorced. They didn't get anything, bro.
Sometimes you got to renew the romance, bro.
Nah, bro.
What if they've been married since like middle school?
Professional, bro. True professional. United is life.
Dude, fuck United. United is wants Pogba to leave, bro. Pogba wants to leave. Your best player. Let's go to Nuggets zone, son. Let's just go to Nuggets zone. Your best player wants to leave. I'm done. I'm finished with you. You're the ugly one. And you know what? You guys fired Mourinho for him. How sad is that? You showed loyalty to him. You bought him all these gifts on Valentine's Day. And what did he do? He shat all over your heart a couple months later.
You're the ugly one now. Oh my God. That's
hilarious. You got the wart in your face.
Golf clap for that. Golf clap. I'll give you a clap.
Switching gears, though, now the tournament is over, man. I think Everton, the Brazilian dude Everton, was a fucking huge bright spot for Brazil. Very dynamic in that midfield. Made a lot of plays happen. Just always bustling around. I mean, him like Chucky Lozano, that's a guy, low radar, lower price. I mean, you're looking under 30 at least, 30 tops.
And Chucky start in the final.
Chucky might be a little more, but dude, that's a guy that's a guy who can easily make a jump. He's still playing for Grêmio in Brazil. I'm surprised no one's biting for this guy. He's 23 years old, but dude, the way he plays, what he brings, he's a banger in the group stage.
Yeah,
well,
man, he can ping. He can ping, bro.
He's nice. That's a guy. That's a signing that Liverpool would have made on the low. I mean, Gabby Jesus was a sneaky buy too. 3 years ago.
And he was playing against he was playing against the Peruvian Musa Sissoko. Like this dude, yo. Who's a house? Clearly the best athlete, and he just kept like starting him, turning him around. Like he had his moments against them for sure, man. I got love for Everton, dude. I think he's a good little player. And he shined, man. He was one of those standout performers of the tournament.
And one last thought. I mean, maybe we have more to say, but Alisson had the gloves the whole tournament. I mean, after Adair had the World Cup. I mean, now you're seeing a huge change in that Alisson's now the starting goalkeeper. I get it, or Ederson rather, not Adair. Ederson's been relegated to the bench. I know it's only the Copa, but I mean, going forward, dude, my brother, I'm afraid you know how ridiculous that kid is, but he's always saying that Alisson's way better than Ederson. Dude, I mean, they're like for like just about, man. There's no real.
It's close. I think Alisson. Go ahead.
Ederson blows Allison out of the water, in my opinion, when it comes to distribution. When it comes to distribution, I think he can distribute, but Ederson is number one when it comes to the ball at his feet. No one touches him.
Yeah, I think he specializes in that, Ederson, and like his ability to kick long range and just feet distribution in general. But like Alisson's no slouch either. You know what I mean?
Alisson is nice, man. I mean, Brazil has two world-class goalies, in my opinion. I mean, Liverpool is spoiled. Man City's spoiled because they can have those guys for the next 10 years. They're both young as fuck. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
these guys come out of nowhere.
Alisson's seems like a little bit more calm, a little bit more game experience.
He has little tats on his neck. Give me a break, Tom. Come on. He's not the wild card getting tattoos on his eyeballs. All right.
He's not. Yeah, bro. He's not the wild card, bro. He got that sort of calm stillness that you need in the back.
Anyways, let's move on to the Nugget Zone. The Nuggets, transfer Nuggets, as we were talking about.
Man, you've thirsty ass.
World Cup. We already talked about the Women's World Cup.
You did?
Yeah, you missed it.
What'd you say?
We talked about the penalty. Was it a penalty or was it not? We both agreed it was.
Total penalty.
It wasn't?
Total.
Penalty. We talked about. I said that I thought, something Huss said where they're better at the fundamentals, but like the game was back and forth. I thought what's-her-face O'Hara was getting doused pretty much the entire game. Well, yeah, I mean, we touched about the main topic was.
Don't you listen to the app, Al?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to snack surmise it for me. He's having a fucking hard time tripping over the words there.
Dude.
That's why you got to get here early, man. This is why you got to,
Oh my God, I'm here. Is that count for nothing, man? Jesus,
you got to hold the dump in,
scramble around just to get here.
The topic is like their generation that we're watching now, and like going forward, what's going to happen for the U.S. women's team and stuff like that. So.
Dude, my big point for the Women's World Cup, second half was shocking. It shows the gulf between the United States and the rest of the world as far as, player selection. The selection of players you're able to choose from. I don't know what it is, but the gulf in the second half was shocking. Spain were a much better opponent, I think. They really challenged the United States, but dude, it was one-way traffic. In the tactics, the Netherlands just sat back the whole game. And then they go down, they push everyone up except two center backs. But I will say this about the United States. They need to focus less on their fucking dancing and more on finding fucking feet with their passes, man, because it was shocking. They couldn't make 3 passes at times. 5-yard pass, wayward.
Agreed. And now we're back into the Nugget Zone. Before getting derailed for a second time, Tom brought it up with Pogba. His agent came out and said the club knows his feelings. He wants to leave. We're working hard to make that happen. Listen, man, this is going to be a nice quick touch topic for the first time ever when it comes to Pogba. It's the same thing as it was 2 weeks ago. It was the same thing as it was a month ago. It's the same thing as when I said when the Real Madrid comments come out. If he wants to go, go. He's not like Neymar, where he's a freaking cocksucker, like Griezmann, where he's a cocksucker and doesn't show up to preseason training. No, the guy's got some class about him. Goes to preseason training. He actually had some beef with Jesse Lingard. There was a tweet that showed them having words with each other. Dude, the guy's not happy. Let him go, man. Like
the guy's also unappreciated, though. That's the thing. Like,
oh, man, but you generalize, and that's what. And I think that's the trap that we fall in, especially a lot of us here on the show when we're talking, we generalize. We say, oh, you guys say this, and no, man, like. When it comes to underappreciation, you got to use specific names, though, because I've never underappreciated Pogba.
You had your moments where you cracked. You had your moments where you flopped on him, and I never did.
I'm still Pogba in. There's no reason why we should sell him, other than the fact that he wants to go. But in terms of a footballing perspective, he's far and away our best on-field player.
Hey, Snacks, hold on, Tom. I'm gonna nip this in the bud. Mm-hmm. All right. Liverpool and Coutinho. Far and away their best player. They've had, Salah is now starting to take that man. I still think Coutinho is a little bit more talented. But at the time, Coutinho, no one could touch him. No one could lick his boots. What do? They sell him for $200 million. What do? They reinvest. They buy a center back. They buy a goalie. Now they win the Champions League.
Okay.
All right? Fuck off with Pogba. Doesn't want to stay. Sell him. Take that 200 mil, 150, whatever it is, at least 150 million pounds, and you reinvest that.
But I thought you had all the money already. I thought money wasn't a thing to United.
There's still financial fair play. All right, we still have wages to balance. I mean, that's still a big aspect with the club. Obviously, money doesn't matter. But if you sell 150, then you have an easy 150 to reinvest without having to worry about balancing books. You know what I mean? It's
my thing with Pogba. When you talk logically like that, I got no problem, man. But remember the incident at the end of the season? I think Pogba's near towards the fans. I think he's got his shirt like half off or something, hanging over his shoulder. And guys go at him like, you suck. And he's trying to barter with him like, yo, man, like, I'm trying. I'm out here, but like I'm busting my ass. I am trying. Is Paul Pogba faultless? No. Like, we've chronicled the moments where he needed to pick up the work rate, where he'd give the ball away and like pull that shit with that body language shit where he doesn't chase back. That drives me up the wall. But my thing from the start has been, it's always been way more good than bad. And I feel that United fans didn't appreciate the good as much as they highlighted the bad. And now, because of that, man scored double-digit goals, double-digit assists, and wants to leave. And okay, if you feel like you don't want to be here, you can bounce. I respect that, dude. But there is a section of United fans who it's more than that. It's you're trash. You're not that nice. You're better. Oh, you focus on your haircuts. You make Instagram videos. It's all these little jibes to try and knock him down when he's actually a world-class player. And because of that, I want him to leave. I hope he leaves. He will. United suffer forever.
Listen, it's
forever. Dude, I want him to go to Juventus. All right, goes to Juventus. De Ligt is finalizing his terms apparently, as they say, the last few days. So that's almost a guarantee. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. You get those two guys.
Juve would be crazy,
dude. Juve, they're gonna win the next 5 Champions Leagues. Ronaldo's gonna retire with 10. He's gonna smoke Messi. All right, I don't care. As much as it would kill me to see Pogba win the Champions League, I'd probably turn it off when he gets the cup, just so I have to watch him celebrate. I want Ronaldo to get as many as he fucking can. I want Buffon to get his. So if he goes anywhere, dude, go to Juve. Go back home.
Real Madrid, because he's also been linked with Madrid.
No, it's either Madrid or Juve. No one else is in for him.
Ask me Madrid, man. The guy said he wants a new challenge. What's new about going to Juve?
He wants to go hold Zidane's ball sack while he shaves. You know.
Anyways,
do what you want to do, man.
Point that you brought up when you were talking about Liverpool and them selling Coutinho. They had brought in Mane, who had balled out the season before, and they had brought in Salah, who that first half of the season had God knows how many goals. So I mean, like, them selling Coutinho then is a lot different than us selling Pogba now, because let's assume because they ended up buying Virgil van Dijk that same window,
and Alisson later.
They bought Alisson later and they reinvested. But like, and you're saying like you reinvested, bro? You cannot trust the Glazer board or Ed Woodward to bring in a likable replacement. Secondly, for the amount of production we jock Coutinho for as good as he is, and he's a very talented player, one of the world's best on his day. But his numbers and his production has never like been there. He's never been top of the assist charts or top of the goal charts.
It's because he was on a shit Liverpool team that couldn't put it together, and then he went to Barcelona and he doesn't get to play. But
okay,
you can't judge him by his numbers.
Pogba has been at the top of the assist charts for United. He's been at the top for United for goal scoring. Like,
penalties.
Forget the penalties, man. The goals are goals.
Take the PKs away. No one really says that about Frank Lampard, but keep going, Snacks.
6 goals and 11 assists is still absurd for a central midfielder. Those are still really good numbers. We fucking jock Luka Modric. Oh, he's the world's best player.
Hey, chill, bro.
1 goal and like 4 assists, and he's the best. I mean, I don't know, man. But anyways, it's
unappreciated, man. Unappreciated.
Situation's completely different to us in Liverpool. And like I said, I don't want him to leave, but if he wants to go, it's fair that we let him go. And like we hope we bring in a replacement like a Bruno Fernandes or a Milinkovic-Savic to come in, maybe not replace the production, but like fill the hole and then just do your own thing at center midfield. And that's the problem we have. Like, if we had signed Bruno Fernandes and we had sold Pogba, I'd be less salty. But not knowing that we might not get Bruno Fernandes and we're linked now all of a sudden with Milinkovic-Savic and like we're linked with Sean Longstaff, like, do you really expect us to be finishing higher than we finished last season, losing Pogba and not adequately replacing?
If we keep Pogba and we get Bruno Fernandes, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
That's a midfield. That's like now you got
because obviously he needs help. I mean, I'm not gonna deny the fact that he needs help in that team, but like he still needs to just do the like. It's my big thing with that dude. Not to go back and rehash everything I've said in the past fucking 12 months. But it's just the simple things, man. You get the ball, move the ball, receive the ball, play the ball. get up the field, show for the ball, don't hide from the ball. Like, those are things that he doesn't do. And there are plenty. Like Bruno Fernandes is a guy that will show. He's always showing to the ball. He's
So
always
what if he comes into the Premier League and it's the same
Pogba
thing?
does throw to the ball, man. He just has bad games, man.
Nah, dude, he wants to look cool and jog his way over. You know,
And let's talk about
you
talk about what he doesn't do. But you never talk about what he does. Al, you specifically, Tiki will admit it, but you never talk about what he does do. He's a long range threat. He can drag defenders out of position. He can play that nice chip ball over the top, find the striker perfectly. Like,
yeah, we call those Hollywood ball snacks. I don't care about Hollywood balls. I want balls on the floor to feet. Dude, you can look. It doesn't mean you're being. Hey, look, this kid can juggle to a million. Do all these moves with the juggling the ball. Cool, you look.
You're getting, if it works, but if it works,
he does do that. He does pass it on the ground. He does everything. This man does everything.
He's literally the best center midfielder in the world, and it's just disgusting that people want us to sell him.
Again, this is what I mean, because when I say this is your best player, your best field player, at least, like, and again, he gets more criticism than he does praise, and it's because United are shit. Paul has his shit moments. He's not perfect by any stretch. But the club is shit right now. So you're expecting a center midfielder to carry, not even a forward. If you're going in on a guy like Harry Kane, who are your goals, mate? You're a strike. Okay. But people like, Pogba, you got to score. You got to assist. You don't run back there. You got fucking Fred next to him, dude.
I will praise this guy game by game. He has a good game. I'll say he had a great game. I'm not like I'm always anti-Pog, but dude, he plays well.
No, but it's not like
if he plays well, I will say he plays well, but I'm not going to praise him when you don't know what you're going to get from the guy.
You know what you do? You give him a 2-clap applaud when he does well. Like, if Aubameyang or Lacazette do well for me, son, I'm wilding out. About my blood clot saying, like, I love these dudes. I never get that level of joy from you. Oh, my bro. And I think it's because he's had those shit moments and just the history of, you know, flirting in and out with other clubs. So there's reasons for it, but that's what I'm saying is there's not a lot of love for Pogba. It's, yeah, I like you.
Dude, when he came here, man, it was all love. Everyone was loving him, man. But he's got no spine. He's got no character.
Wow. See? Things like that.
Dude, he doesn't, man. You watch him play, he quits. He quit in the team last year.
Yeah. And so did Mourinho.
What about all the other players that quit on Mourinho?
So did other players because your club's shit.
Yeah, it's not just that's the thing that pisses me off.
I'm not saying it's just him, dude. We're talking about one player right now.
No, but that's the thing is when you talk about Pogba and you say he quits, like, it's not fair to Pogba to say that, like, he was the focal point and he was the main guy when it comes to that. Sure, fair. But other players around him gave up on the Jose Mourinho system. And when things didn't go well, they sacked Jose, they bring Oli. And Pogba, not Rashford. Rashford equally was probably there as well. Not Martial, not Fred, not Herrera. Pogba was the focal point of Ollie's system. When we went 17 games unbeaten, Pogba was the best player, arguably, in world football in that 17 games.
We're playing the bottom half of the table. We played a bunch of shit teams in that rung that no one wants to acknowledge.
We still lost to Cardiff at the end of the season. We still lost to Huddersfield. We tied Huddersfield.
Because Ole was a permanent manager and everyone went to shit.
That's it? Just because he was permanent manager? Just because, oh, you know what? We're just going to have him sign the contract. Come on, bro. You can't be that fickle and say that, man.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt, Al, that, like, if I was to criticize any part of Paul Pogba's game, it wouldn't be anything technically, nor physically. It would be mentally. So, and that's what I'm saying. This long, arduous relationship that you've had with him mentally, his ability to pull the Ozil shit where it's just his body language sucks on the field. Like that, I think what happens is people really hate that part of the game and hate those characteristics in a player. And for all of the great things he does, it gets diminished by that. And what I'm saying is that wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be my approach to it because he's so great. I'd see the way more good than bad. But I got you. United's been crumbled up. It's been going down the drain. So, you know, pointing the finger at Jose was easy to do. Like pointing the finger at Paul Pogba, I think is an easy thing to do. And to some degree, he deserves it. But the amount of fingers pointed, I think, is too much. That's where I think our disagreement is, man.
That's fine.
Let's move on because we can go on hours on Paul Pogba. Hopefully, we'll see what happens as that saga unfolds. August 9th or 8th is the opening game of the season against Chelsea, so we'll see what happens. Moving on, talk about Arsenal's transfer signings. They got two in. They got Gabriel Martinelli. Never heard of that guy before. You got William Saliba. Never heard of that guy before.
YouTube stars, son. Just YouTube them. YouTube stars, bro.
Give me the lowdown on these two signings, man.
Look, man, Martinelli, nice little signing. Brazilian footballer, mainly a winger. I think he likes to play more on the left side than the right, but he can operate on both flanks. Look, it's a young guy, dude. It's a young guy. I'm not buying this dude to come in and start on the first team. And it's the same thing with Saliba. Apparently the contract or the agreement that's been reached that they've been trying to figure out is that Arsenal buy Saliba from Saint Etienne and loan him right back to Saint Etienne.
You got a cheaper price, apparently, is the rumor as to why you guys are doing that.
Yeah, so like obviously we need to address the center back position, but again, this is another 18-year-old. You know, these are guys who Barcelona's been sniffing at him, Madrid's been sniffing at him, Man U, all the top clubs have been sniffing at these prospects, and too often Arsenal lose out. Like Arsenal are amazing at identifying talent. We identified Ibra, we identified Ronaldinho, like a lot of like those breaking dudes. Like we identified.
How far back we going here with this? But
they just don't come through. So look, I don't think these guys are gonna be fucking Dino level. Let me chill out with that. But I like some young signings. Nothing wrong with some young signings, but
the problem is your team. You need players now. You need a center midfielder. You need a center back, left back. You need a right back.
We're sorting it out. You know, I like the Kieran Tierney link is the one that I've loved the most throughout the summer. Willie Zaha, who by the way, just a little AFCON shout out. He scored the winning goal for Ivory Coast against Mali today. So obviously we know the Willie Zaha conveyor belt of a rumor that's been going on, but I want defenders. Give me Kieran Tierney. I haven't heard of too many other center backs other than Saliba and a couple other guys.
Bro. That's a problem.
Which concerns me. But like again, Frank Kessie from AC Milan, he's been linked to Arsenal. We need a hard-nosed, box-to-box center midfielder, just a physical type of EPL center midfielder. So I like our links, but look, man, I'm not going to get too excited with Arsenal because I've been there, done that. I thought we were going to get Julian Draxler. I was ready to put my life on it, and it didn't happen.
I'm ready to put my life on it.
I think you didn't.
You need players. Moving on, Manchester City, after about a month of discussions, have agreed to sign Rodri. I think it was around £55 million, around like $60 or $70 million. This was the one signing they needed. If you were to look, I mean, I guess now you can transition to like a number 8 for David Silva going forward. But if you were to ask who they should sign and who they needed this summer, they needed someone to replace Fernandinho. Not saying Fernandinho can't ball, but he's getting up there in age, and you know, father time never loses. So I think
Phil Foden.
What?
Mr. Phil Foden.
What about him?
Coming in.
Okay, coming in. Okay, so that's why I said for Fernandinho at the number 6. No,
well, not next season, but he's being slowly.
He's not going to be a number 6, man. He's going to be more up the pitch. He'll be a number 8 at the farthest away, but he looks like a number 10 for them.
David Silva.
You know what I mean? So, what do you guys think of the Rodri signing? I think it's money, man. Brilliant money. It's what Man City do.
Look, we'll see how this guy adapts to the Prem. I haven't seen Rodri play a whole lot, but from what I've gathered, this guy does everything, man. And that's the scary thing. Like, he's a passer and all that, but he's always likened to Sergio Busquets, but a more athletic Sergio Busquets. So that should basically tell you everything right there. I mean, Man City masterstroke, dude. Like, you heard this link for what? Like a week? Maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then boom.
Bro, we talked about it 2 episodes ago, which was like a month ago, about this signing. Like, it's been rumored and linked for a long time. 2 weeks ago.
Look when it happened, early in the window. That's the key. Like, sign these guys before you leave for preseason. Like, you want them traveling with you, getting adjusted to the coach, the players, the training staff. I like my right ankle wrapped up a certain way. All the little shit. Get it out of the way. That's one of the main issues I've always had with Arsenal and just other clubs who wait until the last minute to sign guys, because now we've already played the first game of the season. So
we heard what people said about Alexis Sanchez when he signed for United. He needs a preseason.
Well, speaking of Arsenal, you lost Ospina finally.
Look, man, I was sad to see him go.
That's Napoli about to go win some trophies finally.
Bro, I don't know about all that, but
I think he won one at Arsenal, didn't he? He won an FA Cup, didn't he?
I think maybe.
Yeah, he might
I mean, dude, he's a good goalie. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, you like Leno that much?
Injured every game. He goes down every game.
Clock management, Max. Get with it.
You guys don't even know, man. That's his tactic. That's time wasting tactic right there. Slow shit down, manage the game a little bit. But if I was reading over it, the price tag, man, it seemed very low.
It's like 2.5. Well, that was the agreement with Napoli.
Look, man, this is a Colombian starting goalie, man. Like, you lose him for that little. Like, I did not like that. And I already liked Ospina, but for him to leave for 2.5 or whatever it was around, anything less than 10, we got duped. We got duped in that one.
Still staying in the Premier League. Salman Nasri left, leaves West Ham, going to Anderlecht on free. I'm glossing over that, just mentioning it. Surprise hit for the top 4 next season, Leicester City Foxes. I don't know if we spoke about last time them signing Ayoze Perez from Newcastle, but they also managed to sign not only him, but they had him on loan last year. They're bringing Tielemans full time this year, £40 million, club record signing. This team, Brendan Rodgers, building a squad. They already have a good squad. You got Harry Barnes. You got Madison, Javi Bonds. Sorry.
Is Leicester's midfield better than United's midfield?
Of course. Of course.
With or without Pogba?
With.
So what
the fuck?
What do you want Pogba to do? You want this dude to, you got mans like Leicester, bro. Leicester
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Let's have a better midfield than freaking Arsenal. You got Granit Xhaka starting. You got Granit Xhaka starting. You were B+.
That frustrates me, but I understand when Ozil throws his hands up because Shaka's he can't use his right foot. Like, I get it, dude. Like, that's all I just want to say. I don't want to rehash it back up, dude. But while we're also getting into Nuggets, Arnautovic also leaves West Ham for, was it SIPH Shanghai?
Finally.
So finally, man, this was an ugly divorce, bro. This divorce went back to last season. We demanded a transfer in January. They gave him a contract renewal. They basically paid him more money. He said, "Bitch, I'm still not happy." Like, that's how you know it's deep. These things run deep. And he's off to China now.
We mentioned João Felix yet?
No, we haven't talked about him. João Felix, club record signing for Atletico Madrid. He comes in for, I think it was 126 million
euros. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes in for a world record fee. He's now the 5th most expensive signing in history after a half good season at Benfica, which is wild. He comes in and steals the number 7 shirt from Antoine Griezmann, who is yet to leave the club.
And in a turn of events, Griezmann refuses to join preseason trading.
Well, let's talk about Felix first, and then we'll talk about Neymar and Griezmann. I mean, what do you guys think of the signing? I think it's too soon. Don't think it's the best fit. But something you said on our last episode kind of resonated with me, where, Diego Simeone, he produces elite talent and stuff like that. And, like, if you look at Atletico's track record of strikers, I mean, go back to Diego Forlan, Sergio Aguero, Diego Costa, Radamel Falcao, Fernando Torres. Like, I mean, you can't deny. I mean, I don't know if all
Antoine Griezmann.
I said Griezmann. I don't think you can say all of them have been under Simeone, but he's been there a long time, and he's definitely helped produce some absolute world-class talent. So
he's cultivated. He's gotten great talent, but he's cultivated. Like he's had them bought in, and in the counterattacking style that they play, Griezmann doesn't get a lot of balls to feet, but when he does, like, he always produces. And for him to even get the goal returns that he does get is fucking impressive.
Here's the difficulty, though. Like, I think this is going to be Simeone. He's come out and said this, that is going to be his toughest challenge yet. You lose Rodri, lose Griezmann. Diego Godin also gone on a free.
Yeah, he signed for Inter officially now.
He's gone on a free. So, dude.
Yeah, but they signed Felipe from Porto. They also signed Hector Herrera from Porto. They lost Rodri. But, dude, they're bringing people in.
They're replacing, no doubt. They're replacing. And Atletico do that well. But, again, this is the most movement that he's had in the first team. Like, that's
Fernando Torres is done. He's gone. Griezmann's gone.
So
Like,
I don't know what Diego
turnaround, man. I mean, you're losing the whole. I mean, what 2 Champions League finals with that squad? I mean, they didn't win it, so now it's over. Now you get it's a classic rebuild.
I think Juan Fran might be gone as well. Maybe. Not bad on that though. But look, man, there's this Griezmann thing. Let's switch over to Griezmann because we're still waiting on him to get to Barcelona. It's not quite finalized yet, but it's very awkward, man. Like, I guess what the hang up is that now Atletico Madrid have caught wind that Barcelona had made an agreement with Griezmann going back basically to like March. So like just after January, it was like, okay, we have an agreement. As soon as your release clause of 200 million drops down to 120 million, we're gonna reach it. So I think that's what's been reported as kind of stalling and Atletico Madrid investigating into Barcelona.
Well, Barca also fucked up last week or the last couple of days by they tried to pay his release clause, but in installments. They didn't want to pay it straight up.
They can't.
So Barca rejected that. So
it's not how a release clause works usually.
No,
and they're not selling anyone. They're not selling anyone. They want to sell Coutinho. Rumor has it Ousmane Dembele is a target for Bayern. Like, dude, like, I don't know, man. This Griezmann signing, I don't know if it's going to happen with Barca. I know he might want to go to Barca, but I don't know if it's happening this summer. And then, like, what happens? You know, if he's
going to happen, man.
Oh, it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the end, man. Coming to United, number 7's available. Oh. Speaking of the Prem, one of the transfers of the season in terms of Premier League targets, Tanguy Ndombele. Club record signing for the Spurs.
Yeah, that's got you stuck.
What's his name? Pochettino pissed, not getting any transfer money the last fucking 10 years of his life. Finally getting some money. Huge coup right here, man. Young talent, midfielder.
Why'd he go to Spurs instead of Man U?
Champions League, you know that.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Champions League, Europa, it don't matter, right, Snack?
From bro, United weren't in from.
You're the guy who gets rejected by the dime piece. And you're like, yeah, I don't want her anyway.
Nah, man.
You're ugly anyway.
Get out of here, bro.
Man, dude, this kid is a fucking sweet signing for Spurs. Tiki's hurting, but I know. I mean, I'm just as excited to see this guy play, especially in the Pochettino system. I mean, that midfield's already fucking wild, and they're the fucking one of the best midfields in the Prem as far as balance.
There will be some.
Now you're adding this dude in there, man. It's gonna be fucking exciting. And I mean, if they lose Eriksen or not, they're trying to sell him. No one wants him now, so. I mean, we'll see who they lose going and who they bring in.
Toby's got 1 year left on his contract, a release clause of $25 million. How is no one biting for this guy?
Because, man, no one's fully sold like that, and it's like the player also has to want to leave. So I think he's looking at it like if United had finished Champions League, most likely there. Obviously, Chelsea.
30, I think, 30.
So it's like. Where's he gonna go, man? Maybe someone will sneak in and get him, but especially in the EPL, Arsenal. Why would he go to Arsenal right now, dude? Like, we're a lower club than Spurs right now, so he's reassessing. Like, shit, I might be.
Say it again.
Nah. I might be better off just chilling right here. Like, I think he's looking at the frame. Like, where else?
I mean, he's old, man. He's 29, turning 30.
He's 30 now.
That's not old for a central defender.
Still got some prime years in him for sure, but like at the same
time, he's still his peak was maybe a year or two ago. I think he's still riding that wave. If United were to go in for him, man, it's a fucking beautiful sign. He's still got at least 3 years left at the top of the game.
Again, the question is why United? Like, other than if you can offer him crazy wages, like why United right now? You just got to the Champions League final.
That's the problem, man. They just made it to the final. They're top 4, barely. But yeah, we have no Champions League. We have nothing really to offer. He's in a better shape. He's in better shape and a better club, more stable, better structure, not rebuilding. So it's all about money.
I think
the only thing we have on Spurs is money.
Yeah, it might be about money because they may not want to renew him for the wages he wants. So
not the same ones now that he's 30. You know? So he's got 1 year left.
He stays injured too. He always gets banged up.
Recently, yeah, he wasn't like that. But I mean, yeah, you get advanced age, shit happens. But he's also been in and out of the side because he's trying to. I mean, Poch is trying to kind of phase him out and bring guys in, some of the youth guys. I mean, was it Foyth?
Yeah, Yeah. Well, let's move on from that. We'll talk about Neymar and Griezmann. Speaking of Griezmann as well, both are AWOL. I mean, well, I'm talking about Griezmann in terms of Neymar because Neymar also went AWOL on his first day of preseason. That's what I'm saying, man. The guy's too much of a head case. Not worth 200 mil. Guy gets injured. He's 27, turning 28. And like we've talked about it. Is he worth 200 mil? I just don't see it, man. Like, I sucks. Quality, top 3 on his day, but at the same time, man, like the guy just brings too much of a problem. His dad is just crazy. His dad is the problem. Dude, he got offered to Real Madrid twice, and they said no. Even though the rumors we were hearing at the time was Real Madrid are going to get Neymar. That's the signing they want to make. The president wants to sign Neymar. Like, Jamal Lee, like, what do you
you only say no to Madrid only a number of times, man, until you never get that phone call again. And bro, I think you'll always wonder what could have been because to me, he is a Galactico at heart.
For sure. Selfish, arrogant, all about him. Dude, I couldn't be more happy the way things turned out for Neymar. Such a dick. Fucking diving dick bag. That guy, all the talent in the world. But he wants to get caught up in the pettiness of football. I mean, started the World Cup, all the diving and shit, catching heat. But he goes to PSG, wants to be a top dog, getting outshone by a kid. And now it's like, now I want to be at PSG. You went to PSG, you made a big stink to leave Barca. You just got, dude, the guy, he's a head case, man. I mean, look at what Brazil did without him. They didn't even miss him. And they walked their way to the final, and they won the final, no problem. I mean, sometimes, as you know, guys like that, Ibrahimovic, certain characters, personalities, you're better off without him.
Yeah, in some teams, man, but other teams, and I think Barca might be realizing that they actually may be better off with him.
Dude, if Messi makes the call, then he's going to go to Barca. It's all Messi runs that club, so he pays the refs.
I mean, Griezmann, Neymar, Suarez, Messi, like
Coutinho. Coutinho and I mean, Coutinho's got to leave. If Neymar comes in, Coutinho's got to go, right?
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, I mean, so. We'll see.
Everton in the thirst hunt, trying to sign Moise Kean from Juve.
You're welcome for that text, bro. I am the resident group chat rumor breaker. I'm the one that breaks all the news for us in the group chat. And Tiki. I'm to y'all freaking providing.
Because you're on your phone all day.
You don't, bro. You don't. Look, I sent one earlier that said Man United PSG move for Bakayoko, the Chelsea player who's on loan at.
That was me, bro. I sent that.
No.
I'll go and look at it right now just to make sure.
No, you didn't.
All right, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. That's a class signing. If Everton were to sign Moise Kean, puts Richarlison back at his natural like wing position, either on the right or the left. Moise Kean spearheading that attack. Ademola Lookman on the left, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and Gylfi in the midfield. Bro, that would be fun to watch. That would be fun too.
Everton's trying, man. You got to respect them for trying, dude. But no, there's mad nuggets, man. Mad nuggets. We could definitely keep going. Any other shouts?
Ferland Mendy, a.k.a. curtain calls from Marcelo over at Real Madrid. Young Frenchman coming in there to play left back. Obviously, Zidane has fucking picked the point. Zidane's made up his mind that he needs to get a new left back. I think the whole world knows that how suspect they were last year in their defense. And I think this young kid, 24 years old, but he's got some experience, French international. I mean, is he the future, Tom?
Look, he might be, man, because they had, Lucas Hernandez plays at Atletico Madrid. They have Teo, his younger brother, Teo Hernandez, who's a very good left back as well. Madrid had recently bought him. He was looked at as a guy to kind of overtake for Marcelo. I know Reguilon, he was also in the mix, but Reguilon is real regular. So getting dropped out. So with Marcelo on the fritz, I think Ferland Mendy, man, I think he's that guy. Like you're saying, he brings enough experience, and that's a position where you definitely need that. And speed and the ability to go forward. He's everything I think Madrid will be looking for.
Yeah, he's the prototypical left back that goes for them. It's just a shame it's the end of an era for Marcelo, who's been linked with a lot of clubs, including Arsenal. Arsenal.
I love Marcelo, man. You know who I'd take? I'd take Dani Alves before I took Marcelo, dude. I would take Dani Alves, man. This guy, we didn't talk about Dani Alves enough. This guy is the most winningest player ever, dude. 40 trophies?
Yeah, to preface, just before you continue, there was a Bleacher Report article, and there was a notification I got that it showed him with like 40 trophies. It said he's the most successful player of all time. Is he the GOAT of right backs of all time? Like Cafu, all of them considered. Philip Lahm as well. Is that's our group chat topic of the week before we close out here. Is he the best right back to ever play the game of football? And I'm gonna go with it. I'm saying yeah. This guy is very versatile. He can play up higher on the pitch. He can defend like a workhorse. He makes everybody around him better. He's a leader. He has experience. And I want to get this out of the way because one of the arguments my brother threw at me before we hopped on was he's been on top teams his entire career. That's not true, man. The guy came. What was that?
Sevilla.
He came through with Sevilla, man. He earned his way to the top. And you know what's crazy about Dani Alves that I think makes him the GOAT is his sustained level, even at age 35 going on 36, to the point where he's on a free transfer right now, and the two clubs that have been rumored to be looking at him are Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, which are two top clubs. At 36 years old, how many 36-year-olds like stay at that level where they're just
there's not many, man, but dude, the guy keeps himself. You see him, man. He's physically fit, like to the nines. Never really had major injuries. But dude, as far as his ability, man, the guy does it all. Like he's got the mental game, he's got the defensive game, he's got the offensive game, he's got the soccer IQ to know when to play, when to dribble, who's open. Dude, the guy is one of the best players, period, that you'll ever see. But one of the best defenders, flat out.
I think
easily top 3 best all time right backs for me. I mean, I need to sit down with a list of players and go through it. But dude, the guy has every ability that any team this guy slides into. That's why he's won 40 fucking trophies. Any team he slides in, he's going to start.
And I think we have a recency bias sometimes of being like, we have this thing where, in general, we want to be like, oh, this guy's the greatest of all time. Like, oh, LeBron is the greatest of all time, or these great debates that we have. I don't think recency of bias applies to Dani Alves, man. Like, this guy,
over a decade,
at his peak, he could defend, he could attack. He's a leader. He's showing you he's evolved with the game from the days where you could go in and slide tackle hard to now you got to stay a little bit more on your feet. Like, dude, his presence in the locker room. I know some people, especially at Barcelona, may disagree with it, but dude, this man Dani Alves, man, he has everything you want in a fullback, dude. This guy's a legend. Please, I want him at Arsenal, dude.
You want everybody.
Dude, he's not going.
He'd help. He's not. He's too good for us right now.
Yeah,
too good for us.
Dude, how many games did he play this season? Would you say he's washed? Do you think he's
who?
Dani Alves?
No.
That's the thing, man. This guy's longevity is insane.
There are certain players like it, man. We've seen it with Ibrahimovic. We saw it with Ryan Giggs. I mean, there's plenty of players. Frank Lampard played until he was, 34, 35. But there's certain players, man.
Dude, he's a winner.
Let's look at his stats just before we close off here. 37 appearances in all comps for PSG. 4 goals and 7 assists. Those are some good-ass numbers for apparently old right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, man, he's the problem. And even the first goal, was that one in the final where
the semifinal.
That was also the one where Firmino got a goal and assist and Gavi as well. But the one where he beat like 3 dudes. He sombreros a guy, cuts inside, lays it off. Like, come on, man, this guy at that age, killing. But before we go, I do want to shout out South Africa, guys, in the AFCON. Beating Egypt, the Pharaohs, suck it, Hus, Salah, Liverpool suck. South Africa, Bafana, my favorite too. Bafana, trying to shock the world, man. We out here trying to shock the world. So I just want to give a shout to Bafana. Hopefully we can win the AFCON. We play Nigeria in the quarterfinals next. So my boy Alex Iwobi, maybe Kelechi Iheanacho, old school, Odi and Igalo, like guys like that, bro. It's gonna be a tough matchup, but just shout out to Bafana. Hope we do work.
Yeah. Special
explain this to me, Tom. Though, how come the AFCON is now in the summer?
It's weird. Yeah, I know. They switched it around. They switched it
You know
around.
what I mean? It's always it's usually in the winter.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe they're trying to cut down on African players leaving throughout the years, maybe like throughout the middle of the years. But it's typically is in the winter because of the weather in Africa. Like it's hot as shit, dude. Like, so I don't know. They've switched it up. Maybe it's monetarily, but I'd have to do a little bit more digging into why it's been switched.
And before we let you guys, I want to give a special shout out to PFC Nation. We've been up in our social media game. If you've been seeing some of the posts, we've been trying to go at you with the stories, trying to come at you with IG Lives. Just keep active, keep at it. We really appreciate it. Your support's what keeps us going. And so, special shout out to you guys for keeping the lights on. Keeping the lights on. But maybe an ending note here, guys. Of all the nations left, it's the last tournament. I mean, EPL's done. Starts up in less than a month or about a month, man.
32 days.
There's never a layoff for these guys. I mean, we just got through the Gold Cup, the Women's World Cup, and the Copa. Now we're at the AFCON. So I ask you, with Senegal, Benin, Madagascar, Tunisia, Nigeria, South Africa, Ivory Coast, and Algeria. I know Tom's going to go with his boys, but so Snacks, who do you have bringing this home?
Senegal.
Bro,
Mane, Koulibaly, and Nyang. Forget about Baldy Keita coming off the bench. Forget about it, bro. Senegal's got this in the bag.
Elephants walking home with this one.
Bafana all day.
No way, man. Ivory Coast.
All right. Peace out, PFC Nation.
Bafana.